Well, good evening, everyone. It is Monday. No, it isn't Monday. It is Tuesday, regardless of what the agenda says. It is Tuesday, October the 10th. Time is 7 p.m. I would like to welcome all of councillors here tonight. Also, our CAO, Jeff Baker, our municipal clerk, Kim Casely, our police chief, Louis Sutherland. We have a resident, Adrian Wedge, who's also an employee here. Welcome, Adrian. And also to those guests who are watching online, welcome to our regular meeting of Town Council. I would like to call to order this meeting, and before we begin, I want to acknowledge that the land upon which we gather is the unceded Mi'kmaq territory and is covered by the historic treaties of peace and friendship. We pay our respects to the indigenous Mi'kmaq people who have occupied this island for over 12,000 years, past, present, and future. All right, Council, the agenda is before you. There are a couple of changes. One, I want to remove request for decision number 8.1.8, and we want to add the addition of 8.1.11, which is the request for decision number 55. So removing request for decision number 52, and we'll add request for decision number 55. If that's all right with everyone, I would entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as revised. So moved by Deputy Mayor Spencer, second by Councillor McCrae, I believe it was. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Council, any conflicts of interest on any of the topics we have coming before us here tonight? Councillor Glant?
8.1.9.
Okay, I'll try to remember, and if I don't, you can get my attention. Thank you. All right, before we proceed any further, would Chief Sullivan step forward here, please?
Sure, absolutely. Where would you like me to come?
Right about here.
Okay.
And I'm going to come down there. As many of you are aware, the Queen Elizabeth II had 70 years on the throne, and the province of Prince Edward Island, along with many provinces, what did they do? They struck, I would say they struck a Queen's Platinum Jubilee medal, which I am presenting to Chief Sutherland on behalf of Premier Dennis King and Lieutenant Governor Antoinette Perry. So, Chief, you can have this.
Okay.
And there is your Queen's Jubilee medal, and in here it does tell you when you can wear it and when you can't.
Right.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations on behalf. Did you get a picture? We didn't buckle up here.
1, 2.
Thank you, sir.
Good. Thanks, Louis.
Nice. Congratulations, Lou.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kim. Okay, moving right along. The minutes of September the 11th are before you. Were there any errors or omissions in the minutes of September the 11th? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adopt them as presented. So moved by Councillor Toombs, seconded by Councillor Doucette. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, Council. All right, what about business arising out of the minutes? Any business out of those minutes that you wish to bring forward? Hearing none, we'll move right along to the Chief Administrative Officer's report. That report is before you. Are there any questions on the report? Councillor Mann.
Oh, thank you, Worship. No, just looking, how are things going at the rink? I haven't been down in a while, so.
Mr. Baker, would you like to report on that, please?
The ice plant has arrived. They're in the process of installing it. We're looking at the arena being open to rentals the week of somewhere between October 23rd and 26th. So it is about a week behind schedule from the original schedule. I don't know if you have anything you'd like to add to that.
Only that Mr. Wood has sent out an email to all the users, and they've all been made aware of that last week. Anything else? I think that's about it, isn't it? I was down there today, and everything is still looking to be on schedule. There was no issues concerned as of this morning around 11 o'clock, so everything is still moving as everyone would expect. Any other questions, Council? Councillor Doucette.
Thanks, Your Worship. I just had a question. I understand we had applied for more funding for like the dressing rooms and stuff like that. But were we able to replace some of like the bathroom fixtures in those dressing rooms? I think there was some issues with those last year, or even just, I think it was even something as simple as say like a toilet seat in some areas. But I know I had heard some complaints about some of those fixtures in the dressing rooms. Anyway, I wonder if we just had enough at least to tidy those up.
Mr. Baker?
Yeah, so they did do some minor, I know the washroom in the Vipers dressing room was, all the fixtures were replaced in there. I know they have done some minor maintenance work to the washrooms in the dressing rooms, but the dressing room washrooms were not included in the funding application. It was primarily for the public washrooms that were out front, which of course were essentially rebuilt from the ground up. Yeah. So if there are specific issues with any of the dressing rooms, then we'll make sure those get addressed. Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions, Council? Deputy Mayor Spencer?
Thank you, Your Worship. I was just looking at number 13, the WSP. I didn't know if they gave any indication as to when they might come back to us with some information.
We do have some information that has just arrived on the desk tail end last week, but there's nothing. We're hoping to have something for committee meeting is what the plan is right now. Mr. Baker and I were talking about it this morning, and we're hoping to have something for committee to take a look at. Did Councillor Glant, you have a...
Thank you, Worship. Just on the Credit Union Center as well. Just on the wall they took out to put in the new ice plant. I was down there the other day, I think a few days ago myself, taking a look. The wall they took out to put the ice plant in, is that going to be replaced with brick or cement blocks again? And also on the inside where the new ice plant is, there's a fair amount of destruction in there. Will that be all cleaned up as well and painted up after the work is all done?
Do you have anything on that? What I understand is the wall, I think, is going to be put back the way it was. They were thinking at one time about a door, but there's no benefit to a door because the condenser's right out. So I think the plan, as I understood from Robert, was that it was going to be put back the way it was, and inside it's probably going to be all fixed up as well. Yeah, so it should look totally different once it's all completed. All right.
Yeah, when they're done, you shouldn't even really know that they were in there to replace the ice plant. Yeah, all that will be cleaned up. And my understanding is the wall's going to be replaced with the brick that was there before as well.
Yes.
And just one other question regarding the outside there on the end where I think they must have dug a trench or something for the electrical to go over to the condenser or whatever, and it's all clay now. Is there any chance we could maybe get something over that before the winter hits, so at least in the spring when it's soft, if they are using the end, going and out there for various reasons, they won't be in the mud. I don't know if even some crushed asphalt or something like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mr. Baker's putting that down on his list. All right. Thank you. Any other questions, Council? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adopt the CAO's report as presented. So moved by Deputy Mayor Spencer, second by Councillor Doucette. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, Council. The Fire Department Statistical Report is next. Any questions on the Fire Department Statistical Report? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adopt that report as presented. So moved by Councillor Toombs, seconded by Councillor Doucette. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, Council. Next is the Police Department Statistical Report. That report is before you. Any questions on the report? Councillor Toombs. Or, pardon me, Councillor Gland.
That's okay.
I was close.
It's okay. I've been called worse. I don't have any questions. Just a comment. I've got some feedback from some residents regarding police presence in the Rosewood Drive and Barrett Street area, where they were pretty pleased that they see more police presence there. But I did get one concern, or two concerns in the last week or so of some pretty heavy speeding going out that road, and it's been motorcycle or motorcycles. Might be the same person all the time, so I just wanted to bring that up for them and maybe bring that to your attention.
Is that the Kelvin Road you're referring to?
Yes, yeah.
Do you know what
Chief?
time that complaints were?
I was told it was right around supper time.
Okay. Okay. Did you hear it? Okay.
All right, thank you, we'll leave that with the chief. Any other questions, council? Hearing none, all those, I would entertain a motion to move it, adopt the report. All right, I guess it's, I think, moved by Councillor Gallant and seconded by Councillor Toombs. I think that was the order of the hands. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, council. Chief, did you have anything further to add?
No, that's what I was going to ask.
All right, very good. Well, thank you. All right, thanks, chief. Yeah, you too.
See you, thank you.
The next report is the development permit summary report. That report is before you. Any questions on the report, council? I believe it's the same one we had at Committee of Council. There's no additions. That being the case, I'd entertain a motion to adopt the report as presented. So moved by Councilor McCray, seconded by Deputy Mayor Spencer. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you. And the bills list for the town. We have several. You've seen them all. We have some of the ones that were identified in committee have been taken out, so the totals that we're actually approving on bills tonight may be slightly different, either on bills or capital or for the departments, but the totals will be reflective. So what I'm going to do, there's 4 months. I'm going to entertain a motion for each month, so we can keep the record straight. Are there any questions on any of the bills on any of the months, May, June, July, or August for the town? Then hearing none, I'm going to move to the ones, entertain a motion for May in the amount of $204,338.05. So moved by Councillor Mann, seconded by Councillor Toombs. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. The next is for June, and the bills are in the amount of $283,326.69. So moved by Councillor Mann, seconded by Councillor Glant. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you. And in July, we are $238,610.51. So moved by Councillor Mann, seconded by Councillor Glant. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. And August is $243,944.30. Councillor Mann moved, seconded by Councillor Toombs. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, council. That is all the bills for the town. The next is the bills for the water and sewer utility. Does anyone have any questions on any of the bills for May, June, July, and August for the water and sewer utility? Hearing none, we'll move along to approval for the May, which is amount of $16,888.71. Moved by Councillor Toombs, seconded by Councillor McCray. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you. And for June, the amount is $4,154.68. Moved by Councillor Doucette, seconded by Councillor Toombs. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. July bills are in the amount of $15,222.02. Moved by Councillor Doucette, seconded by Councillor McCray. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. And for August, the bills are in the amount of $13,062.93. Moved by Councillor Doucette, seconded by Councillor McCray. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, council. And when we get into next month, we'll only have 1 month's bills. We're playing catch-up now, so. The next item are the capital bills for those 4 months. Any questions on any of the capital bills for the months of May, June, July, and August? Hearing none, the bills for capital for May were $168,225.09. Moved by Councillor Mann, seconded by Councillor Doucette. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. June were $361,730.81. Moved by Councillor Mann, seconded by Councillor Toombs. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. And July was $676,069.67. Moved by Councillor Mann, seconded by Councillor McCray. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. And the final one, August capital bills were $401,219.37. Councillor Glant, do you have a question?
Just a question on that one. Eddie Arsenault, S1-39.
That is
What's that for?
the railing at the Credit Union Center all along and the wheelchair, okay? Do we have a mover or second on those? On that last one? Not yet? Okay, who moved $401,219.37, moved by Councillor Glant, seconded by Councillor Toombs. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, Council. Okay. The consolidated summary income statement is just to the end of August. Whoops, I think I must have deleted it. Yes, I did. Anyway, it's to the end of August, and next month we'll have the revenue or deficit line on the bottom of the statement as well. So, are there any questions on the consolidated income statement? Hearing none, who would entertain a motion moved by Councillor Mann, seconded by Councillor Doucette. All those in favor? Councillor Glant, you have your hand up? Okay. All move. Let me see. It's unanimous. Unanimous, sorry. Getting tongue-tied here. All right. That's all the financial stuff. Let's move right into 7.9, which is the Credit Union Center report. That report is before you. Any questions, Council? Councillor Glant. That's the second time tonight. Sorry there, Councillor Glant.
We had a discussion there last week. I think you were there, Your Worship, along with Robert, when we were down at the arena regarding the seagulls on the roof. Has there been any more thought put into that, or what could be done with that, I wonder? Or is there? I come by there again in the last day or two coming down the hill, and there's hundreds of them up there.
Yeah.
They do make quite a mess, as you know. And
Yeah, they
the
do.
eaves troughs were all filled up with dirt and even around the front of the rink with them. So I'm wondering if there's any possibility we could look into seeing if there's something that can be done.
Well, Robert has mentioned that he's tried different things. I think there's actually an owl or something. There's something up there, but it's not, doesn't work. Whatever it is that's supposed to work isn't working. I don't know if there's any other solution. Do you know, have you heard anything, Mr. Baker? You got any suggestions?
I wasn't even part of that discussion as to what potential solutions are. But I know it is on their radar, and we'll look into things. I believe you did mention the owl idea at the last meeting. Yeah. So.
Councillor Toombs?
I don't know if it works. I've noticed on the Giant Tiger building, they have, it's almost like a kite, a hawk on a kite that's flying around to keep them off. But I mean, I don't know if they have it in the winter type of deal, but I noticed that to keep the seagulls off of that building and stuff. Now, how it works, I have no idea, but I have seen that in play too, like something that, whether it works or not, I don't know.
Yeah, I know they have tried stuff. Robert has said they have tried stuff. They were looking at the spikes, but the problem is putting the spikes on, you have to put all over the roof because they don't sit up at the peak. The roof is flat enough, they sit everywhere, stand everywhere, so. So Mr. Baker's going to do some research and he's going to try to find a solution. No guarantee. All right, anything else on the Credit Union Center? In that case, I would entertain a motion to adopt the report as presented. So moved by Councillor Toombs, seconded by Deputy Mayor Spencer. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, Council. The next report is the mayor's report. Everything is fairly straightforward there. We will be bringing more information forward to you once we know more on the Diversity Festival, which is potentially being looked at and planned as one more town in the province. So I wanted to let you all know, give you a heads up that that is being looked at. Are there any questions on the report? Council? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to receive or to adopt the report as presented. So moved by Deputy Mayor Spencer, second by Councillor Doucette. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, Council. All right, we're moving right along to the Federation of Prince Edward Island Municipalities. Councillor Mann.
Oh, thank you, Your Worship. All right. At our last meeting, we just got their fiscal financial statements, so we approved them at the board level. We'll be bringing them as well to the meeting, this upcoming meeting. Don't forget this Saturday at Credit Union Center and Credit Union Place, I guess, in Summerside.
Yes.
Meals will be provided. We had some discussion about financial framework as well. And we're finalizing our meeting with Minister Lance, which will be happening next week. And we went ahead with the approval to advertise the position for an administrator to run the infrastructure program. That'll be, we assume,
Are the regulations all done on that now?
once we assume the regulations will be soon finishing up, and we got to start the process now because it'll take a while, and hopefully by then everything will be ready to go. And we had some discussion too about providing insurance for municipalities.
Global insurance for everybody.
Yeah, we'll be partnering with the other federations across Canada, and they're presently providing insurance to their members now.
Through the canoe.
Through the canoe program,
Right.
yes, out of
Okay.
Alberta. So
Good.
because some of the smaller ones probably have a hard time
Yes.
getting insurance.
All right. Is that it?
That was their
All right.
last.
Any
That was
questions
her.
of Councillor Mann? All right. Moving right along to the Kensington Area Chamber of Commerce. Councillor McCrae.
Thank you, Your Worship. We had a meeting in September, I guess this month. Small Business Week is October 16th to the 20th. On October the 19th, from 4 to 6, there's going to be after-hour mixer, and it's being sponsored by Provincial Credit Union, and it's at Family and Friends. On October the 20th, it's a small business walk around Kensington, and it is at 10 a.m. And November the 30th is Business Award Gala in New London at the Carriage House, and tickets will be coming up on sale. And that's it. That's my
Okay,
report.
and one other thing that you may not be aware of yet, because Julie got in touch with me just about, I think it was tail end of last week, Friday on Small Business Week, the town is the sponsor, because we're the top sponsor, we're the sponsor of a free barbecue at Mike's Independent Grocer from 11:30 to 12:30 on Friday of Small Business Week, and donations to the food bank will be what people are looking for. We get free hot dogs, but the donation to the food bank is you're in. So it's not really free, but it's free in one sense.
So what's the date for that?
20th, next Friday. And I'm not sure who's doing the barbecuing. It's the board of
That's what I was
directors.
wondering.
Board of directors. I understood the board of directors and perhaps the town. So I'm sure if any of us can be there, they'd certainly appreciate us being able to help.
Time?
11:30 to 12:30 at Mike's Independent Grocer.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay,
You
thank
didn't
you.
know? No, it was something because Julie just sent me the email last week to see if we would be the corporate sponsor for it, because we get to do some of that with our executive position that we have now. All right, thank you, Councillor McCrae. 55 games plus report, 55 plus games, I mean.
Thank you.
Deputy Mayor Spencer.
Thank you, Your Worship. We had the wrap-up meeting today. I've distributed the financial statement there to everyone tonight, too. So at the wrap-up meeting, we discussed, registration ended up being quite good. We're very happy with that. There were a few events canceled, so we did have to do a few refunds, but those have all been issued now, as you can see here. The one takeaway that they were asking about was, I guess it was the co-hosts, or the co-chairs this year were asking about maybe more advertising next year. Some people had commented they weren't aware of it. I thought I did see stuff, but I guess that was because I was sort of involved, so it was more top of mind. But that was one takeaway we had. The game, well, Victoria from the Games Society is actually resigning her position next week, I guess, to take a new role, so there'll be someone new in there next year. She did let us know, though, that Stratford will be the host for the Winter Games coming up later in the cycle. And as you can see, we do have a surplus of $3,679.50. So the arrangement is that 50% of that would be given back to the society. So I would like to make a motion to cut a check for $1,839.75 to the PEI.
Are you making that motion?
Yes.
Do we have a seconder for that? Seconded by Councillor Glant. Moved and second that we pay the 55-plus Games Society, that's 1870, what is it, 1870?
1839.75.
1839.75. Any discussion? All those in favor? It's part of the game, part of the agreement that any surplus is split 50-50. All right, any questions of Deputy Mayor Spencer on the 55 games? Councillor Glant.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm just comparing to last year, and it looks pretty close to a little more revenue last year, but I think it was maybe a little more left over last year, but it looks like the expenses were probably a little higher this year, which happens with everything. I guess my only question is, Councillor Spencer mentioned that someone said that they'd like to see more advertising. Was that the PEI host or society committee, or was that our own committee?
That was members of our own committee had feedback from folks who I guess were either participating or who were thinking about participating but then didn't know the dates or something, I guess. So it was communicated to them. They communicated it on to to Victoria from the Game Society. It's just something that they may want to look at in future, is to maybe either partner maybe more with Boyles Optical to get it out. They do radio advertising. Maybe they could add it in their radio advertisements for their own business. Or they did mention that they do advertise it actually at their physical location, Boyles Optical. Maybe newspaper, other things like that too.
Councillor Glant.
Thank you. That's interesting because last year we put forth the exact same complaint to the PEI Game Society from Charlottetown, where there wasn't enough advertising, and it was the exact same scenario. So, and it was their comments at our final meeting with them last year that they would see that there would be more advertising from their end of it. So that's just I just find that interesting that it's the same complaint again this year, and obviously the only thing different I seen this year, and I participated in the games, was that we had the sign up down by the post office, where last year they didn't put that up. But yeah, it seems that you seem to get that from several participants. Even I participated in 2 or 3 events this year, and I heard people saying, "Oh, I didn't even realize it was on." So I think that does come from them more so than the host. I think we over the last couple of years seem to did a good job of advertising and coming up with sponsorship and making people aware within our area. But it's hard for us to go island wide. So I do think that would be a PEI plus Game Society problem.
Yeah, it is, and that's what was communicated today as well from the coordinators and from Deputy Mayor Spencer, because I was sitting in the meeting as well, so I was invited to attend. Thank you. Okay, any other questions, Council? Then we'll move right along to the heart of PEI Committee, and that's my report. The Heart of PEI have what they call a reel-to-reel, it's kind of an artwork piece of, that's being installed out at the Malpeck. Just reminds me something here. I better turn my phone. It seems to me I don't remember turning the phones off. They're gonna start ringing or something here. And I'll be in trouble. Somebody else just turning theirs off too, not to mention any names. So there's a piece of artwork called Reel to Reel, and there's going to be a QR code, and it's going to be installed at the Malpeck Hall in Malpeck, and that's where tourists can come along and they can scan the QR code, and it'll take them to a video or an audio file or something like that, which will explain certain things. So that's one of the things the piece of artwork has actually been done by Malpeck Fine Iron. The caboose that we mentioned before, an update on that, the land has been approved by the province of Prince Edward Island to locate it out on Gerald McCarville Drive. They were looking at having somebody do the design work and engineering work now to make sure it's safe and properly designed to meet the code, et cetera, et cetera. That's being planned. Then they'll apply for a COA again and try to get some more COA funding for it, as well as the province. So that's hopefully will get done before next year. And there are plans for fundraising silent auctions taking place in the months of November. I think the plan right now is to have silent auctions in November and in March and try to get some more revenues into the Heart of PEI. One of the other things, as Council will recall, Council McCrae mentioned here at the previous meeting discussing Locks of Love. The Heart of PEI is taking a look at something along that line, whether it's Tree of Love, Locks of Love, or whatever. They're taking a look at whether that's something they want to take on, and they're going to do some investigative work, and something may or may come forward in the future, but at this stage of the game, it's being at least looked at and investigated. So that's pretty well everything that I had to report on Heart of PEI right now. Any questions? All right, let's move right along to new business then. The first item of new business is 8.1, which is the second reading and formal adoption of the Development Control Bylaw and Official Plan. This is the one on School Street, and it's the corner of School Street and Sunset Drive. Are there any questions or clarification needed, Council, on any of the information that is in the document? Hearing none, Councillor Mann, would you like to read the approval for second reading of the Development Control Bylaw Amendment?
No trouble. Thank you, Your Worship. Whereas a request has been received from the owners of a property located at the corner of School Street and Sunside Drive, PID number 685545, to rezone the property from its current single residential R1 zoning designation to low-density residential R2 to facilitate the construction of a duplex on the property. And whereas a public meeting to solicit comments, feedback from the public was held on August 30th, 2023, in accordance with the PEI Planning Act and the Town's Development Control Bylaw. And whereas town staff have evaluated the application in consultation with DVA Consulting and are recommending that Town Council proceed with the Development Control Bylaw amendment. And whereas the bylaw was read, approved, and adopted a first time at a regular meeting of Town Council duly held on September 11, 2023. Be it resolved that Kensington Town Council gives second reading to amend the Zoning and Subdivision Control Bylaw to rezone PID number 685545, located at the corner of School Street and Sunset Drive, from its current single residential R1 designation to low-density residential R2 to facilitate the construction of a duplex on the property.
Thank you, Councillor Mann. Do we have a seconder for that resolution? Seconded by Councillor Doucette. All those in favor of giving second reading to the amendment? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, Council. Approval of second reading, Councillor Mann.
Whereas a request was received from the owner of a property located at the corner of School Street and Sunset Drive, PID number 685545, to rezone the property from its current single residential R1 zoning designation to low-density residential R2 to facilitate the construction of a duplex on the property. And whereas a public meeting to solicit comments, feedback from the public was held on August 30th, 2023, in accordance with the PEI Planning Act and the Town's Development Control Bylaw. And whereas town staff have evaluated the application in consultation with DVA Consulting and are recommending that town council proceed with the development control bylaw amendment. And whereas the bylaw was read, approved, and adopted a first time at a regular meeting of town council duly held on September 11, 2023. Be it resolved that Kensington Town Council formally approve and adopt second reading to amend the zoning and subdivision control bylaw to rezone PID number 685545, located at the corner of School Street and Sunset Drive, from its current single residential R1 designation to low-density residential R2 to facilitate the construction of a duplex on the property.
Thank you, Councillor Mann. Do we have a seconder for that? Seconded by Councillor Glant. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. All right, and now formal adoption of the motion. Councillor Mann, or do you want a break? Do you want somebody else?
We'll keep on
Go
going.
ahead. Should have it memorized by now.
Yeah, ditto. Is that enough?
If only we could.
Whereas a request has been received from the owner of a property located at the corner of School Street and Sunset Drive, PID number 685545, to rezone the property from its current single residential R1 zoning designation to low-density residential R2 to facilitate the construction of a duplex on the property. And whereas a public meeting to solicit comments, feedback from the public was held on August 30th, 2023, in accordance with the PEI Planning Act and the town's development control bylaw. And whereas town staff have evaluated the application in consultation with DVA Consulting and are recommending that town council proceed with the development control bylaw amendment. And whereas the bylaw was read, approved, and adopted a first time at a regular meeting of town council duly held on September 11, 2023. Be it resolved that Kensington Town Council formally adopt the amendment to the zoning and subdivision control bylaw to rezone PID number 685545, located at the corner of School Street and Sunset Drive, from its current single residential R1 designation to low-density residential R2 to facilitate the construction of a duplex on the property.
Thank you, Councillor Mann. Do we have a seconder for that resolution? Seconded by Deputy Mayor Spencer. All those in favor? All, one moment, please. Hold your vote.
Sorry. It looks like I missed a part of the resolution there. So I'd like to propose an amendment to the resolution, the formal adoption resolution, if I could.
Okay.
And I'd like to add the words, "and whereas the bylaw was read, approved, and adopted at this meeting." The bylaw was read, approved, and adopted a second time at this meeting.
Rather than the first time.
No,
No, we need both.
we'll include that. The only change
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
make
add that, right.
is we'll add those words.
All right, so the mover and seconder, after, we'll add that other clause in.
Correct.
Agreed? Mover and seconder? All right. All those in favor of the amended motion? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, council. Okay, moving right along to request for decision number 46, which is the annual sewer main flushing. That information is before you. Councillor Glant.
I'll give Councillor Mann a break here and read this long resolution. Be it resolved, the town council award the contract for 2023 annual sewer main line flushing and video inspection to Island Hydrovac Services as per quote dated October 3rd, 2023 in the amount of $31,522.50 plus HST.
Do we have a second by Councillor Toombs? Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, council. Moving right along to a request for decision number 47, the five-way blade. That information is before you. Any questions, council? Hearing none. Who wants to read into the record the resolution? Deputy Mayor Spencer, go right ahead.
Be it resolved, the town council authorize the chief administrative officer to purchase a trackless five-way blade from Saunders Equipment Limited as per a quote dated July 31st, 2023 in the amount of $8,400 plus HST.
Do we have a second? Seconded by Councillor Toombs. Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Next item is request for decision number 48. Maybe we'll skip right over that one since Adrian Wedge is here. All right, request for decision number 48. Any questions, council? Councillor Toombs.
For the price that included on all of them, the backhoe attachment, that's an expensive attachment, and talking to a salesman at one time, I was indicated it was like a $20,000 attachment, and like he said, you can get a lot of digging done for $20,000, and it's not a simple on and off apparatus. I mean, we need the front end loader and the tractor. I know that because they've had to do a lot of work to it in the last 5 years. And you have to have a snow blower because the new machine is going to be a little bigger. So I'd have no problem with going with the recommendation for the new machine, but without the backhoe attachment. I think we can use the money maybe for something else that they need, and maybe something later on, and they see how it goes. But that's just my opinion.
Mr. Baker, I think you had some feedback on that, for the backhoe, that times for the business might be able to use it.
Yeah, we did have a discussion about it when we were evaluating the quotes as to whether or not it's a piece of equipment that we did need. And it was requested that we do leave it in there for when the guys are doing some minor water and sewer digs, things of that nature, some other routine maintenance around the town.
Councillor Gland.
So would that backhoe be, so the price of the backhoe, it's not, each item's not separated here in price, right? No. So what would be the price of the backhoe or that attachment? Do you have any idea what that price would be?
It's you're not going to find it in the package. No, I'd have to run and get the quotes, which I can do real quick if
It's around, yeah.
If you want.
$8,000, $10,000? I just forget.
I'm looking at the wrong one. You're right. It was 8,000. No, sorry, that's not right. $16,103.29. It's for the backhoe, the mount kit, the frame kit, quick attach coupler, and a 12-inch quick attach bucket. $16,103.29. Plus HST. Yep.
So staff are recommending that we
They
they feel it's value add.
Yeah, that came from a discussion with maintenance staff and our water and sewer operator. The point's well taken, certainly.
Any other questions, council? Yes, Councillor Gland.
So how often would we use something like a backhoe? I mean, compared to maybe getting someone local to come in and do whatever digging they need done. It's just, is it a backhoe that can be used in fair size jobs? It's just a small attachment, or I'm not sure. Like we'll say an example, or we'll use commercial construction for an example. They got a fair size backhoe, right? So would it be that big, or would it be much smaller? kind of the picture what we're looking at here.
My understanding is that it would be a smaller bucket. I don't know if Adrian, if you have anything to add to the discussion, Adrian? I know you were a part of the,
Go to the microphone there, Adrian, if you have any comments to make.
a part of the original discussion on the issue.
I think when I asked them at Kubota, they said that it was probably around 16 or 20 inch, 16 inch or 20 inch bucket, so it's quite a bit
And
smaller.
as far as use, how much use would you be using it for?
I would say we'd probably use it quite a few times. There's a lot of times that one of our problem is when we're looking for a backhoe, we can't get them. So we put the job down because we can't dig the hole, so. I know we get Khartoum's quite a bit, and a lot of times he has his own business, so he has to operate his own, and the smaller backhoes that we can use, sometimes they're not available. So if you can't get them, you can't get the job done.
All right, thank you, Adrian. Any other questions, council? Comments? Councilor Doucette.
Yeah, thanks, Your Worship. Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that we're going with Kubota. Obviously, if it's something that we need, I mean, it goes without saying it's a pretty big investment. There's no question about that. But if we do go ahead with all that, I mean, it just makes sure we do provide like the proper maintenance and stuff. Like even have like a schedule set up for the staff and stuff to make sure everything's kind of looked after. And yeah, but other than that, I think if we need it, it's one of those things.
All right, thank you. Any other comments, council? Were you ready to read into the record the resolution? Who wants to volunteer? Deputy Mayor Spencer, thank you for volunteering. You're trying to find it, aren't you?
Got it.
That's why I called on you.
Okay.
I saw you struggling.
All right. Be it resolved that Town Council authorize the Chief Administrative Officer to purchase a 2023 Kubota L5460 from Kensington Agricultural Services Limited, as per their quote dated October 4th, 2023, in the amount of $96,200 plus HST.
Do we have a seconder for that resolution? Seconded by Councilor Doucette. Any discussion, council? Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, council. All right, the next one is request for decision number 49, the self-contained breathing apparatus. What? Oh, pardon me, I'm standing corrected. Just a second. What happened was I closed the wrong one here, and now I'm in trouble. All right, I'll get this open again. All right, there's another resolution. If I can find it. Resolution number 2. This is where CAP means chapter. Deputy Mayor Spencer, when you're reading it, I have been advised that CAP means chapter, so
Okay.
do you want to read resolution number 2 into the record?
Sure thing. Whereas Section 164 of the Municipal Government Act, RSPEI 1988, Chapter M-12.1, authorizes the Town Council to borrow money for the completion of a capital project. And whereas Town Council intends to purchase the 2023 Kubota L5460 tractor from Kensington Agricultural Services Limited at a cost of $110,630, including HST, and whereas the amount to be borrowed will not cause the town to exceed its legislative debt capacity, be it resolved, the town of Kensington be empowered to borrow up to $110,630 from the Scotiabank under the following terms. Number 1, repayable in full by Town Council over an amortization period not exceeding 10 years. 2, an interest rate as negotiated with the lender with interest payable monthly. And 3, advances repayable on demand.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Spencer. Do we have a seconder for that resolution? Seconded by Councilor Glant. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. We have one other motion that we have to read into the record, and this is to give Mr. Baker the authorization to sell the old unit when the time comes. And we're basically gonna sell it, say that he can sell it for not less than the 12,500, and I know he has bids higher than that right now, so.
Thank you.
Mr. Baker, or Deputy Mayor Spencer, if you would read into the record.
Yes. Be it resolved, the Kensington Town Council authorize the CAO to dispose of the 2010 Bobcat tractor to the highest price offered and at a price not less than $12,500 plus HST.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder for that resolution? Seconded by Councillor Toombs. All those in favor? Was that a question or your favor? Not voting? All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, Council. All right, we ready to move on to the next one now? Oh, what did I do? I closed my, I don't know what happens. I keep losing my agenda. There it is. Okay. Yes, Councillor Glenn.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, just on that backhoe or tractor and backhoe, is that something that has to be ordered now, or is that in stock, or?
I'm not 100%. Mr. Baker, do you know, is it in stock or it's not far away? I just forget.
I believe they do have it
I think
in
it's
stock.
here. Adrian, do you know if it's in stock? Do you remember? I know you were looking at one, and I'm not sure it might have been sold by now.
Yeah, the one that I did look at, that they showed me, they said they'd have to order one in, but they figure probably within 2 or 3 weeks they should have it in.
Okay. All right. Thank Councillor Glenn.
And I guess my other comment on it is that it's nice to see that they're able to price it and we're able to support local, because our business park is, has a lot of good businesses up there, and hopefully, or the industrial park, I guess it's called, and hopefully in the new business park there'll be some of those down the road as well. So it's good that local businesses are bidding, and it's good that we're supporting them.
Thank you. Yes, they were within 5% of the Bobcat, of course, was rejected just because it wasn't heavy enough on the front end to stand up to our needs, so. All right, then, we got all that passed? Is that all voted on? Okay, thank you. All right, I think we are now at request for decision number 49, the self-contained breathing apparatus for the fire department. The information is before you there, Council. Any questions? In that being the case, who wants to read into the record the resolution? Councillor Toombs, go right ahead.
Be it resolved that Town Council award a contract for the supply of 4 self-contained breathing apparatuses and associated equipment to K&D Pratt as per their quote dated September 20th, 2023 in the amount of $42,049 plus HST.
Thank you, Councillor Toombs. Do we have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Doucette. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, Council. Next is request for decision number 50, which is a development permit application for Travelers Rest Mini Homes on Ingham Drive. That information before you. Any questions, Council? Councillor Toombs.
Just on the picture, when it says 56, that's inches off the line, 56 feet off, what?
They can put it right on the line. Is that the
No, I'm just reading, it says 56 off property line.
inches?
Right.
Yeah.
Is that going to be the same on the front also? Like on the road sides? It's just showing it like the other two. I was just curious if that's all the way around.
I
Yeah.
think, go ahead, Mr.
So my understanding is it's 56 inches around the perimeter of the property, except at the corner where it's brought back 20 feet. Yeah, so the other 1, 2, 3, 4 sides will be at 56-inch offset.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions, Council? Then, that being the case, who wants to read into the record the resolution? Did Councillor Doucette, did you have your hand up? Yeah.
Thanks, Your Worship. Be it resolved, the Town Council approve a development permit application submitted by Trevor Mosh for the construction of an 8-foot-high fence along the perimeter of a property located along Ingham Drive, lot 21-4, PID number 1158161, subject to compliance with all relevant federal, provincial, and municipal legislation and regulations.
Thank you, Councillor Doucette. Do we have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Toombs. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, council. Moving right along to request for decision number 51, the solar panel rink upgrades. Any questions on the information that's before you, council? Councillor Doucette.
Thanks, Your Worship. Personally, I don't know, and I don't really know enough about solar panels, but I know our options, I guess, were limited to go on the roof. My reasoning I ask is I don't see very many wall mounts around our areas. I was just wondering, like in discussions with them, was there any fear of less efficiency coming from any of that, or?
There's
With
been
being
discussions
vertical,
with the engineers.
I
I
should
don't
say,
know if
rather
Mr.
than the horizontal.
I don't know if Mr. Baker has anything to add to that. There has been some discussions on it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what.
But they did look at the different options. They looked at 3 different options for the installation. And so, based on the constraints of the building, they maximized the number of cells that they'll be able to place on the building.
Yeah. Plus, the other thing, there is a change there. It shows right now that the design was for some on the ground,
Yeah.
but there's new regulation now that has to be all fenced in, so now that is not going to take place, and they've actually been able to, they're going to be able to put 30 panels on the roof down near the edge where they got the wall support. So that's just today. That's fresh off the information. That's being looked at today. So they're looking at potentially getting more solar efficiency even yet. So the Hansons are working with our engineers, and they're looking at what other possibilities, what they can do to improve,
Okay.
to get more coverage, because we still have some surplus budget.
Yeah, if we can add more cells to the project, then we'll certainly try and maximize that as much as possible throughout the project. We do have some budget in the project. I believe our original budget was in excess of 300,000 for just this component, with the contingency included. So if there's an opportunity for us to do more down there, we certainly will. Yeah.
And our plans initially were to try to get 100 to, well over 100 kilowatts, but we're, at this stage, I think we're running around 60 some, so if they can get closer, we will. Councillor Toombs.
So it's going to be mounted now, did you say on the ground?
It'll all be on the building.
On the building?
It'll be on the building,
Okay.
building or roof, building and roof.
Okay.
But what I'm saying on the roof, it's going to be down on the bottom where the weight of the wall, or the weight, any additional weight will be with the wall underneath it, so there's.
So it's not actually going to be like really mounted on the ground, it's going to be
No.
still, yeah.
Not on the ground.
Okay, that's what I was just trying to,
Yeah, yeah,
and
that's-
they won't be sticking out probably any farther even off the roof probably than the ice plant there
No.
now, type idea, that when it comes out type idea.
Oh, it'll be right on, it won't go past the lip of the roof.
Yeah.
It would just be where the wall is, to be able to support the roof.
Yeah.
They feel they can put
Okay.
solar panels on there, that's what I understand.
Okay.
Is that-
It's my understanding, it's because of the added structural integrity of that section of the roof, because it does have internal wall support. Yeah.
And they're planning to tilt them a little more than the normal tilt of the roof as well there. So that's all being evaluated and assessed right now by our engineers and the contractor, Hanson's. Yes, Councillor Glant.
Yeah, did I hear you mention something about fencing for it?
If you put it on the ground, you have to put a fence around it now. That's for safety and everything else. I guess there's new regulations, so therefore, that's deemed, and plus, it wasn't deemed to be a good idea as well.
Okay, and I guess the other, might sound a bit of a silly question, but when it comes to those panels for damage, is there a possibility they get damaged, whether it be someone damages them, or whether it even be from the weather, or how do they hold up for that sort of thing? Like even in
Do you
a,
want me to speak from experience? I've had solar panels on my roof, and I've had them on for going on 3 years, I guess, 2.5 years. I haven't had any damage at all yet, and I've gone through Fiona. So Can they be damaged? Yes, the wind, if they're not installed right, the wind can damage them. If a meteor comes down from the sky, it's going to damage it. It's probably going to go right through the roof anyway, so solar panel probably be the least of your concerns. But I haven't had any damage at all from my solar panels as of yet, and I hope that doesn't bring me bad luck. All right? Councillor Mann.
I guess just on that, one of the designs is at the back of the building by the ball fields. So what about, well, like, you know, when we played ball there, we hit that building many times, so. And that
You
was
hit that
small
building?
kids. Yeah, we used to, they hit the building all the time.
With the net there?
But the net's not covering the...
No, it's the other ball
back part
field.
of the rink.
It's the other ball field.
Oh, you mean from Pops?
The one right beside
Yeah.
the rink, the foul balls usually go up and on the roof, so, and on the back wall. But another thing too, so the ones on the side won't be angled a bit too for the sun? If-
They may be, I don't know.
If they get an angle on them, they'll be fine, so.
Yeah, that's what the engineer's for. I just happen to know a few things, comments that I heard being said. Not that I was smart enough to ask the question. No. We may have to. If we find that becomes a concern, then we may have to. I'm not sure how much abuse they'll take. Yes, Councillor Glant.
Councillor Mann made a good point. There is several balls that do come off bats and heads for forever. I think Robert then can confirm that. They've found some up on the roof. And I've been down there when there's actually foul ball home runs hit from the other field that would go over and end up hitting the end of the rink. So they'd miss the net altogether. So that may be something you could bring to their attention anyway.
We will, I'll get Mr. Baker to bring that to Robert's attention and our engineer's attention, and they can evaluate, and maybe they won't even go on there. So at this stage of the game, the only thing we're really approving is to move forward with the project, and how the thing is laid out can be totally different from what the initial plan was. All right, any other questions, Council? Council, go ahead, Councillor Toombs.
Be it resolved that Kensington Town Council award the contract for the supply and installation of solar panels at the Credit Union Centre to Hanson Solar Energy as per their tender submission in the amount of $103,443.04 plus HST.
Thank you, Councillor Toombs. Do we have a seconder? Seconded by Deputy Mayor Spencer. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, Council. Okay, moving right along to, we're skipping number 52 and moving right along to 53, request for decision 53. That information is before you, Council. Any questions? What?
Councillor Glant declared a conflict.
Oh, right, pardon me. I'm sorry, Councillor Glant. Let the record reflect that Councillor Glant left the room at 8:03. Do you want to, Councillor McCray, do you want to just close the doors there, please? All right, Council, before you is the request for decision to buy a mechanical floor scrubber for the rink. There have been 3 quotes. Any questions on the information that's before you? Hearing none. Oh, Councillor Doucette.
Thanks, Your Worship. Yeah, just not a question, but a comment. Similar to my comment with the tractor, obviously it's not on the same price scale, but a piece of equipment that we need to maintain, just make sure we kind of have a schedule. Also, I guess one question would be, do we have like a vacuum, like an industrial vacuum that we use, you know, to kind of clean up the debris before we go with the scrubber? I don't know if it was just simply a broom and stuff before, but I wonder if we ever had like an industrial vacuum that was purchased or used around the facility as well.
No, but I think that's what this is supposed to help offset. That's what they use these in the other rinks right now, because they do actually, they vacuum as well. As scrub the floor.
This unit vacuums as well?
Vacuums as well. It sucks the
Okay.
water right off the floor, so it cleans it I mean, if you got it real heavy dirt, I'm sure they'd have to clean the thing first.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like the constant movement with like the salt and, you know, the winter bringing everything in. I don't know if it's built to pick up big clumps of rock or salt or stuff like that.
Yeah,
Just a
well, it
thought.
might not, but if there's that, then they'd have to they'd have to clean that up themselves manually, but they are a vacuum as well as a scrubber. I'm sure I'm read that somewhere here, didn't I?
Okay.
Did you have any comments, Mr. Baker?
No, I was just going to say, I'll have a conversation with Robert about that, and if this thing doesn't have the capacity to do the vacuuming like we're suggesting, then we'll take a look at some solutions around that.
Yeah.
Whether it's a sweep of heavy material or an industrial vacuum cleaner or something along those lines.
And I do know Mr. Wood said today that before we actually place the order, he wants to go and see the ones in operation at Evangeline and Rustico, so that they actually have this unit, they actually use them there. So he wants to go and see it in actual operation first before he actually places the order, so.
Yeah,
All
sounds
right.
good, thank you.
Any other questions? Then who wants to read into the record the resolution? Councillor Coombs, go ahead.
Be it resolved that Town Council award a contract for the supply of a 20-inch automatic floor scrubber with traction drive for the Credit Union Center from Global International as per their quote in the amount of $6,002 plus HST.
Thank you, Councillor Coombs. Do we have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Doucette. All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, Council. Councillor McCray, would you let Councillor Glant back in? Time is 8:06. All right, moving right along. 2. Welcome back, Councillor Glant. We are now on request for decision number 54, which is the 2023 Christmas Promotion Program with CFCY. That information is before you. Are there any questions on what is being proposed this year? Councillor Mann.
Oh, thank you, Worship. So this is completely different than we've ever done in the past, correctly? Because before we used to do like the greetings and stuff and come to the levies, but this is totally different.
Yes, and it's
Or will we still have our
There-
levy plug?
Well, it won't be, there's going to be, as we understand it, there's probably, during the program, where's the detail right there now? Mr. Baker?
Be on page 7.
Page 7. There are, what is it? You know what? There are 2 10-second ID commercials during the show, and there are 28 commercials, 2 per week minimum. So the show is, the thing is on once a week. So there will be 2, I think we think those are 15 seconds. Those will be similar to what we've been traditionally doing. That's where we can say something and invite them to the levy or whatever we want to say. But this is going to be focused on just Summerside's station. Before, we had the same thing on every station, that you never knew when it was going to be on. We weren't really getting, I mean, I never ever heard it once of all the times it was on. It was probably on 30 times, maybe even more. I never heard once, even though I tried to. This way, we're focused on between 8 and 9. All our messages are going to be between 8 and 9 tonight at night. They're going to be in Spud FM, and we will be the only sponsor of that show that night. There's only one sponsor for each one. So that would be, now it's a little more expensive, but at least we're probably going to get a little more attention, a little more recognition. And the people will actually be tuning in presumably to watch that or listen to that show. So I think we have the choice of going with the traditional that we normally done, which probably, well, how many here has ever heard me on? I've never heard myself on it. We might get a chance, if you listen to that, you'd probably get a chance to hear it, or choices to do nothing. What's your thoughts, Council? Councillor Glant?
So we go with this one instead of the one that comes
Yes.
over the...
Yes,
the
this would be
radio
instead of.
Yeah. I did hear you several times, by the way.
Oh, did you?
But I'm traveling a lot, so I have the radio on. So I would hear it periodically. So this one is like one night a week?
One night a week.
Leading up till Christmas, is it?
One night a week
That's
from December the 5th to December the 25th.
till December.
Is that every? Every
No,
evening?
it's every evening, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay, it's every evening, yeah.
But it's only on one station too, it's
Yeah.
not on
Just on-
the other two.
just
And
on-
this is the,
Just on the Summerside station.
correct.
Yeah, it would be on the Spud station, and my understanding is that the two 10-second IDs during the show would be the show is brought to you by the town of Kensington, and then there's still the opportunity for commercials associated as well. It's my understanding.
So 20, yes, Councillor Glant.
Yeah, I think I could support, I think it'd be good to change it up anyway, maybe give that radio station an opportunity. It's fairly local, and I think we'd be more than fair in the past to the other ones, so that would be a nice change.
Yeah. All right, everybody else in agreement? Any further discussion? Councillor Glant, do you want to read into the record the resolution? Can you find it? It's on the request for a decision. And we have to get our name in now, because somebody else may take it as well, so.
Be it resolved, the town council approved the sponsorship in the amount of $784 for the Unwrapping Christmas program with Spud FM held nightly from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Friday, December 5th to December 25th.
Thank you, Councillor Glant. Seconded by Councillor Toombs. Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, Council. That, now the other request for decision is request for decision number 55, which just came out this afternoon. And that is to give direction to Mr. Baker to set up a public meeting for our official plan and development control bylaw. The date to be confirmed. Any discussion? Councillor Toombs, go ahead, read it into the record. Thank you.
Be it resolved that town council authorize staff to schedule a public meeting, date to be determined, for the presentation and consideration of the draft Town of Kensington official plan and development control bylaw.
Thank you, Councillor Toombs. Do we have a seconder? Second by Councillor Doucette. All those in favor? Oh, okay.
Thank you, Your Worship. I just have one question. We don't know when that will be yet. I wonder, just chucking the idea out there, would it be something we look at? It's going to be coming on to the Christmas season. There'll be a lot of people attending events and so on. It would be nice to have this at a time when it would be nice to have it at a time when we could get some people there to have some input. I think it's important that we look at that.
You know, we're not looking at December. I think we're hoping you October, late October, early November, I think is the plan. Is it not, Mr. Baker? Do you have a?
We have some legislated timelines that we have to follow, so we do have to advertise the meeting. There has to be 9 days, at minimum 9 days, between the advertisement date and the actual meeting date. I have to confirm Hope's schedule as well from Deviate Consulting. I'd be surprised if it happened in October, but we should be able to do it certainly within the first week or 2 weeks of November. If you felt that was too late, then we could look at after Christmas. But
So the target will be to try to have it before November the 15th would be our target. Is that?
certainly, yeah.
And if we can't, if we can't get it before November the 15th, we delay until the new year? Everybody agreed to that? I say 15th, 16th, whatever,
Yep.
the middle of the month.
Yep.
So that'll be, we understand that's kind of what we're voting on. All right, everybody okay with that? All those in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, Council. Other matters. Well, as Mr. Councillor Mann has mentioned, the Federation of PEI Municipalities is on this Saturday. I plan to leave Kensington in the range of 8:45 a.m. and so anybody who wants to travel with me, Councillor Mann, I think you're going. Councillor Glant, I think you're going, and Councillor, or Deputy Mayor Spencer, I think you're going. Anybody else? I think everybody else was a no at this stage, and Mr. Baker, I think, is tentatively planning to go as well. All right, so if you want to travel with me, I have room. And that's been mentioned. Go ahead, Councillor Doucette.
Thanks, Your Worship. I know I'm going to bring it up again, but the Hello Kitchen barriers. Any word on what's going on there?
Mr. Baker?
Trying to determine what I can, could we chat after the meeting?
Absolutely.
Maybe, because there is a
something in
legal
the works.
process involved there that I don't think anybody would appreciate me talking about publicly.
Absolutely.
But yeah, just, if I could just finish mine here first, just wanted to let everybody know that the list of streets to be resurfaced next year has been given to our MLA. They're School Street East and School Street West, Commercial Street West, Gerald McCarville Drive, and McLean Street West, and also requested Victoria Street East be redone. It's a provincial highway, which might not get done. And also take a look at the Kish entrance, the eastern end of Kish entrance, and the pickup area in front of the school. The Halloween hustle is taking place on October the 28th. You might have seen something on Facebook, and that is to raise money for the they're planning to do some upgrades to the playground at Queen Elizabeth. Halloween hustle is a 2.5 kilometer walk or run. Walk for me, run for you, out the Confederation Trail, and it's $5 per adult, and they're hoping to raise money for that. And the Christmas parade, start to mark that down. That's December the 3rd. Put that in your calendars. And the town Christmas party, put that in your calendars, is December the 4th. And of course, New Year's Day, and the Christmas party, town Christmas party is going to be at Family and Friends. And the New Year's levy will be on January the 1st at Family and Friends as well. Those are all my items. Now, did you finish, Councillor Doucette? No, no problem. I hesitated. I was looking at checking my notes there. Sorry. Councillor Gallant, or no, Toombs, I guess. Would you have your hand up? Yes. Okay.
I believe, I don't know if it was last meeting or before, we were talking about some of the signs on the trail that were in bad shape.
Yeah.
I noticed, I went for a walk, I walked by there quite a bit, and I kind of took more notice. It's mostly, I'd say, our signs, not as much of the railway bunch. It seems to be ours, seems to have really, the town's taken a real beating, it's for whatever reason, but that's what I've noticed anyways along by the train.
You. Any other, Councillor McRae?
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm just wondering, with the coyote problem in Kensington that we're having, has anybody been in contact with wildlife and find out what's going, like, if they're trapping them or what they're doing? They seem to be quite noticeable at a lot of different areas.
Baker, are you aware of?
Yeah, I believe it was reported by the chief, but I haven't got an update on that since. Yeah. So I can get an update and send out to everyone. I just haven't had a chance to meet with the chief to see what they're going to do about it, or if they are indeed going to do anything about it. Jim.
Councillor McRae?
I just have one more thing. Since Adrian Wedge is here with Public Works, there's many of meetings we tell Jeff to thank you guys for all your work and your dedication to the town. So with Public Works and your being here, I would like to personally thank you for your dedication and your hard work. I see the work that just put into the town, how well it's kept, the grass, everything. So your hard work doesn't go unnoticed. So instead of coming from Jeff, I would like to personally thank you, and you can tell maybe the rest of the boys that we do appreciate everything you do for us.
Thank you, Councillor McRae. Any other matters, Council? All right, moving on to correspondence. The first item of correspondence is a letter from the Artisans Co-op, and this is thank you, Doug and co-workers, for keeping our market going when there is need for assistance. We appreciate the boots in the field, signed by Dina, the manager of the Artisans Co-op. So, and there is a second one, and it's from the same people, and this is, I'll read it. It's Kensington Artisans Market want you to know how much we appreciate having the market space available and the support from your employees when an issue arises. A heartfelt thank you from the Market Artisans, and that's signed by Dina as well. That is all the correspondence. There's, at this stage, we get one item of in-camera item to discuss, and we would invite Mr. Wedge to please retire, and we thank you for attending. May you have a good rest of the evening.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
All right. And we'll have to go to all those who are watching online at home. Thank you for visiting us, and we will see you next month.